But sometimes the emergencies aren't even emergencies, and you have people that are budgeting on your money. Hey there, I'm Oria Chilani, and this is Oria Chats, where I chat everything personal finance and a little bit of lifestyle just here and there. So today we're going to be talking about lesson number 4, 26 basic financial lessons for 2026. And lesson number 4 is set your boundaries. Now this one I feel very strongly about. I do feel strongly about all the other lessons, but this one hits home because I've been in a position where I couldn't set my boundaries and I didn't know how to say no. First and foremost, what ends up happening is there's always an emergency. So your friends or family will always try to reach out to you, and you end up becoming that person that they reach out to first or all the time. And sometimes it's not even an emergency. Sometimes it's just something to supplement their own lifestyle. But you become the person that's always saying yes. So how does this happen? It happens that they are always going to think that you'll always buy the groceries, or you always give them a certain amount of money every month. And the moment you don't, they start being this tension or these weird vibes between you and them, because they want you to fund their lifestyle with your hard-earned money. But this is where setting boundaries does really come into play. You need to learn to say no. And saying no is not selfish. Saying no is sometimes helping yourself, because you are not always in the capacity to lend a hand. And sometimes lending a hand can look different. Sometimes when you're in these kind of situations, instead of actually, let's say, giving people money, you might rather than buy the groceries so that you can help in a way that fits your budget. Because now if you give them the money, sometimes you don't have that amount every month, and it's easier to maybe buy something like groceries to help out. But back to saying no. Now, like I said, this is not selfish. Saying no is not selfish. Sometimes you need to assess where you are financially and see, am I in the capacity to help this person? And if the answer is no, you are not doing anyone a disservice by saying no. Because think about it. If now you have to go borrow money, or you need to go above and beyond just to help, where it stretches you thin, you're not really helping, because now you need to go to the next person or to the bank, and it could really put you in a very awkward financial spot. And trust me, I've been in that position. It can quickly get depressing. It can quickly get to a point where you feel like you're working for the next person, or that you don't even enjoy your own money simply because other people always have a say over it before you do. So learn to say no. And not just everything is a no, guys. Sometimes there are genuine emergencies, and if you can help, do help. I'm not saying say no to everything under the sun. I'm just saying set your boundaries when it comes to certain things, so that people are not budgeting on your hard-earned money. People are not trying to supplement their lifestyles with your hard-earned money, and you're also able to also enjoy your money. And at times saying no is not because you don't have the money. Sometimes you're saying no because you already planned for something with that money, and now you have to throw your plans out of the way for them. And again, this is dependent on the context of the situation, but you really need to assess, are you in the position to help? The next thing with setting boundaries is when it sometimes comes to friendships or even relationships. And this can quickly become tricky because, guys, I'm also the type of person, I don't want to miss out on a good time. And sometimes I have to, because I'm not in the position to fund this good time, or it's going to cost a lot more than I have right now. And it's perfectly okay to speak to your friends to be like, okay, guys, maybe can we change this plan that we have, Or can we rather do something that falls within my budget? And that is perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with saying, guys, this is where you guys want to go, but this is currently where I'm at. It's perfectly okay to say, can we just, can we just go to a place that isn't there so we can all still have a good time? And I'm not going to, shake or be anxious when it's time to pay that bill or whatever activity that we're doing. So really set your boundaries. Let people know what you can and cannot do. And you don't even sometimes have to go into depth of this is the reason I'm paying XYZ, I am helping out at home. No, you don't owe everyone an explanation. But just saying no, I'm just not in the position to do XYZ or to help you with XYZ is perfectly okay. It is not selfish. You also would have assessed where you are, and even with your financial goals, doing something can sometimes be derailing you from achieving what you're trying to achieve. So you'd have to just put that boundary in place that I really can't because I have this goal and I'm trying to reach it. This really goes with communicating with your family, your friends, that I have these goals. And like I said, you don't owe everyone an explanation. You can just say, I have goals I am trying to reach, and this may derail the goal. And again, context of the situation matters, and what the emergency is matters, but not everything is an emergency. And you also need to also prioritize building your own financial wealth. Because at the end of the day, you also need to look out for yourself as much as you do look out for others. And I know this can be very difficult because sometimes you're really doing it out of the care you have for the people that you want to help or the people that are reaching out to you. But really assess the situation. If you really can't, set the boundary that I can only maybe do up to here. I can't, or you can only go up to here. You can't go here, So really just speak, communicate what your boundaries are, communicate your goals, and not to everyone, because not everyone needs to know your goals and your financial plans and where your money is going. It is yours after all, it really is. But communicate these things, communicate where your limits are, communicate that you can or cannot do XYZ, or you can do it up to which extent, and really learn to say no. It is not selfish. If it's going to put you in a compromising position, rather say no. Really, rather say no. And that is it from lesson number 4 of 26 basic financial lessons for 2026.